Now, the final Senate contest of the 2022 midterms is underway in the state of Georgia. Democrat Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker are campaigning across the state in search of votes before the polls close this evening.
And after record-breaking early voter turnout, Democrats are feeling optimistic about tonight's results. But analysts remind us that Republicans tend to vote on Election Day. And with polls crowded today, this race is still very much a toss-up, with polls closing in just 90 minutes. Here's NBC's Alice Barr with the latest tonight.
On this runoff election day in Georgia, voters are fired up.
Have someone to be and to fight for me to, make decisions that are best for me and my family.
We're going to get this done one more time.
Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock facing off against Republican challenger Herschel Walker, who greeted supporters today at a Marietta restaurant.
I feel good. We're going to win this election.
But while rain didn't stop early morning voters in Atlanta, another factor may dampen Republican turnout.
What we're hearing from some Republican voters is because control of the Senate isn't on the line, that's dampening some of that enthusiasm.
Democrats retained control of the Senate by the narrowest possible margin and are looking to expand their majority with a Warnock win.
I really want him back. He's got the experience.
Warnock edged past Walker in last month's general election, but didn't get to 50% of the vote. The Democrat built up an advantage in the runoff's record-breaking early vote count, but Republicans tend to show their strength on Election Day, and many are motivated by a chance to slow President Biden's agenda in the Senate.
At the end of the day, is this more about Herschel Walker or more about a Republican seat?
A Republican seat.
Warnock far outspending Walker in this runoff, slamming the Republican over numerous scandals, while Walker's casting the Democrat as a rubber stamp for President Biden's policies. The final contentious and consequential race of the 2022 midterms now coming to a close. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
For more on this race, we're welcomed by Dr. Jeff Bloodworth of Gannon University. Doctor, during Erie News Now at 5 o'clock, we talked about what got us to this point. Now let's talk about where we're looking tonight. What counties, what regions are you keying in on this evening?
Well, I think there's four regions you want to look at. You want to look at the Atlanta metro area, which is a Democratic stronghold. The exurbs, right, Republican counties that are Cherokee and Forsyth County. If you see a strong turnout there, up north of the Atlanta metro, a strong turnout there is good news for Herschel Walker. Sumter County is the bellwether county, right? It's 50-50. It's a small county, but it's been the bellwether, and Warnock won Sumter in the first round. That would, if you look to see if Warnock is winning, that might tell us how he's going to perform tonight. His hometown of Savannah, which he won about 70-30. You want to look at Savannah as well. But, these are the general kind of places to look at the electoral map. If Republicans need a very strong turnout tonight, and the weather wasn't good, which is not a good sign for Herschel Walker.
What we generally see here in Georgia, outside of really Sumter County and a handful of others, you don't have a lot of those close counties. Many of them are going to be runaways in one direction or another. So does tonight then come down to voter turnout? It's all about running up the score for each candidate?
Absolutely. Now, what we saw in the first round is that Herschel Walker might have won a lot of rural counties outside of the Atlanta metro area. But unlike Brian Kemp, the Republican governor, who would win them maybe 70-30, he was winning them 60-40. And so in order for Herschel Walker to win, he has to have Brian Kemp numbers. So strong turnout and big margins. And he didn't get those big margins in the first round of voting. And the turnout doesn't look like it's going to be strong enough. I mean, we don't want to predict because we've been wrong in the last few cycles, but that's what you need to see. You need to see large margins.
Doctor, thanks so much. Coming up on Erie News Now at 6, we'll look some more at this race and talk about what it could mean going forward for our country, obviously for the next 2 years, but maybe for a presidential election 2 years from now as well.